Hello, beautiful souls. I forgot to hit record on the introduction of Soul Portal, so I'm re-recording this, but you do have the live activation that I will attach after this. So welcome. My name is Christy Jewett, for those of you that have not met, and I am a spiritual channel, a light language messenger, and a soul mentor. And so what that means is I work with channeling guidance from spirit, your spirit guides, my spirit team, bringing wisdom and guidance to you. I work with the Akashic Records, the wisdom of the Akasha, and then I work with the frequency of light language, which is a multidimensional frequency that comes through to support you in activating your light body as well as clearing limiting beliefs and just bringing through the messages that your soul needs to know. Light language is like a soul language. Many of you might hear it and you might be like, wow, that sounds so familiar, or it might bring up tears or emotions and you wonder why. And that's because the frequency of the language is going to really connect with your soul and speak to your soul and work with the DNA within your soul and your body. And so that's why it can feel so familiar for many of you. It is not something that is meant to be understood by the logical brain. So I'll be using a lot of light language in today's activation. So I encourage you just to allow yourself to receive, feel it in your body versus being like, ooh, I wonder what she's saying. There are some people that are translators of light language out there. So for some of you, you may just drop in and you'll immediately know what the message is, but it's not generally word for word. It's just an overall intention and translation that the soul and the body understands, and it's all about frequency. Just like with Reiki and energy, you can't see energy. It's the same with this frequency. So just to give you a little bit about light language. And so past lives, why are we working with past lives? One of my very first experiences that I had was a past life regression. And so I was able to kind of experience past lives for the first time and what that was. And on my spiritual development and my journey, Spirit often would tell me to go into past lives to work with something that I might be dealing with. And I would do this through the form of using the Akashic Records. And then probably about a year ago, I was working as a psychic channel, spiritual mentor, and I felt that there was something within me that needed to come forward. There was something more. There was a level within me that was not being accessed. And when I would connect with spirit, they would really encourage me to dive into my past lives. And so as spirit does, they brought in this beautiful human that uses light language, works with past lives. And so I started listening to her podcasts and listening to her light language, not really knowing what it was. And within a very short time, it was probably about a month, I was out walking and one of my guides came in and presented herself as Isis. So to give you a background story around this, Isis didn't always present to me in that way. It was about 15 years ago. She came into my awareness and I would just sneeze. I was working on doing a lot of soul healing around trusting myself and trusting my power. I had gone through a terrible divorce, and so it was just kind of reclaiming a lot of that part of myself. So she would kind of come in and I would sneeze and I'd be like, what is that? But it was all very, very consistent. And then my psychic gifts and mediumship gifts awakened, and immediately she came in the form of Izzy. She called herself Izzy. I'm strongly clairaudient, so I would just hear her, but she would be very, very close to me all the time, and I could just feel her energy wrapped around. She was a very intimate type of guide, and I called her Izzy for many years. So about a year ago, going through this experience, out on this walk, prior to that, she had kind of disappeared for about a year. Guides can kind of come and go depending on how they're working with you. And she disappeared for about a year. And then all of a sudden, she appeared again. I'm out on this walk and I was like, oh, you're back. I was so excited. Interesting though, she used to place herself always on this side, and she came in more on this side. And she's like, yes, I'm back. And actually, I am Isis and we have work to do. A week later, my light language activated. I was on the acupuncture table. I was really curious. The Sisterhood of the Rose just kind of kept coming into my awareness. So I asked Spirit, open my Akashic Records, asked Spirit, what is the Sisterhood of the Rose? And my light language just absolutely dropped in. I knew what I was speaking. I understood what I was saying. It was just flowing through me. It definitely was something that this came from a past experience. Like I shouldn't have known what I was doing and how I was doing it. It just kind of landed. And I understood that all of this had come from me accessing things from my past life and accessing lineage. There was something about the lineage of the Sisterhood of the Rose that really awoke this within me. So this is why I'm so passionate about past lives, and I work with past lives often for myself and for my clients. Bringing things forward from our past life and clearing from our past life can help us to move forward in our gifts and in the way we show up in the world now. And now this piece around lineage. So over this last year, working with my light language, my connection to the Sisterhood of the Rose, the lineage is starting to kind of awaken through these divine beings that I'm working with. Mary Magdalene, as soon as I started working with Reiki, Mary Magdalene came into my awareness and has been working with me for years, but she's come in a much more prominent way, as well as Mary, Mother of Jesus. She works a lot with me, and we're working with the heart chakra especially. Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, has come in to work with me. This again, prior to me understanding anything about working with Isis. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, had come in. I have worked with Yeshua since I was about 6 years old, so that was already something that was in my awareness. And then also now working with Anna. She's a part of the lineage as well, going into the shadows, going into the depths and beginning to clear, but also bringing forward this divine love and acceptance. And then the Sophia Christos consciousness coming through as well, dragon energy working like with the Christos dragon, and of course unity consciousness. And so I'm bringing this all forward because the living temple that I am starting next week, it's exactly the same time, 10 o'clock on a Thursday, Pacific Standard Time, is a 12-week program where I am going to be working with the lineage. They've given me all these different deities have kind of come in different timing, and it's kind of all come together. It's a channeled program. It'll be very experiential, similar to what you're going to experience today. A little bit of teaching about each of these guides and beings, leading you into an activation where you will intimately get to know these beings. They're telling me that they're going to come into this program in a way of like, it's not only going to be through me, but you're going to be developing like a personal relationship with your lineage, with these divine goddesses and beings. And this is going to help to awaken, they told me, your dormant DNA, the things that are kind of dormant, the gifts that are dormant within you, so that it can activate your light body and you can begin living in your divine essence. And so it's a 12-week program because this is something like, it's not like, oh, we work with Isis once and then we move on. It's going to be this unfolding. And by the end of this program, you're going to be working with this incredible divine team. They call it the Lyra Sophia Council of Light, and accessing and working intimately with these beings within your spiritual work, your spiritual life, your day-to-day life. You literally are becoming the living temple. Your spiritual gifts are no longer something that sit outside of yourself and are now something that is like you are the living temple. And it's kind of moving away from the knowledge to that piece of fully being embodied and feeling that connection to your divine essence and this unity consciousness. So that's a little bit about the living temple. I wanted to tell you about it before we go into the activation because many of you will be very zenned out and relaxed once we do this activation. So for those of you that join the living temple as a thank you for being part of the Soul Portal today, you're going to receive a discount. So the program will be $777 instead of $1,111. And I'm also adding on a bonus for the first 10 people that sign up, that you will receive a bonus session with me, a one-on-one session with me. So hopefully that's something that feels inviting to you. And I just want to welcome you in. You, as we work today, I want you to just notice, do you notice a connection to the lineage? Has Sisterhood of the Rose been coming up for you? Has Mary Magdalene been coming into your awareness? Do you already work with Yeshua? Is Isis coming to you in a dream? Has Sekhmet been coming into your awareness? These are all like the nuggets that I'm noticing, the people that I'm meant to work with, that there's this commonality that's coming up. So just want you to kind of bring that into your awareness, and you'll feel it in your body. Spirit has told me that the people meant to be in this program will feel it and they'll know it because you're meant to be actively working with this spiritual team. So just to tell you a little bit about that. And just prior to moving into the activation today, there's just a couple of things I want to bring through. Number one, we're going to be working with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind obviously is most activated when we're in an alpha brainwave state. So just kind of taking you into a little bit of that hypnotic state. And some of you may even go right down into the theta state, which is more of an trance state. And when you're in that state, you may not remember kind of what happened in the activation. I see this happen a lot with the clients that I work with. And I just want you to understand and know that that is beautiful. That's wonderful. The work is still happening, whether you remember it or you don't. Trust the journey. Second thing being, a lot of times we can get up in our heads and we can be like, am I imagining this? Is this real? What's coming through? And I just want to tell you, what if you are imagining it? It doesn't really matter. Whatever your subconscious is bringing forward is what you are needing to receive today to help you in your healing and helping you with today's intention of bringing forward the giftings that you're meant to bring forward. Now, these can be actual giftings like light language or connecting with your channel, but they can also be things like feeling a visibility block kind of disappear, or a worthiness block falling away. So it can be things that can be actual, like literal giftings with your psychic gifts, or it could be something that you've been just kind of moving through within your own journey in life as well. And the last thing I want to bring through, some of you may not be strongly clairvoyant, so meaning that you don't see imagery, and that is okay. I'm going to use a lot of imagery throughout this activation, but if imagery is not something that comes through strongly for you, just knowing, if I say like you're seeing yourself in a beautiful garden, just know that you're in the garden, and that's okay. It still will work in the same way. So just allow yourself to relax and to receive and to be to open to what comes through. And yeah, I'm very excited for you to experience this activation. So let's get started. All right, just really settling into the body. Wiggling your toes. Feeling roots beginning to grow out of the bottoms of your feet. Feeling those roots moving deeper and deeper into the earth. And they're going to move so deeply through the creeks, through the lava. So deeply they come upon a beautiful crystal cave. Feel those roots beginning to wrap around a crystal that you might see. You might see a color or have a feeling. So I am seeing tourmaline, which is a beautiful grounding crystal. It's very clearing, support and clearing as we move through the past lives. It's very protective as well, knowing you're protected and held in this space. Also seeing amethyst. It's beautiful purple, supportive and healing, supportive for the heart chakra and soul remembrance. And begin breathing this energy up through the bottoms of your feet. In to the legs, feeling moving up the calves, over the knees, into that low half of the body, just really anchoring you down. Imagining now a beautiful white light flowing from the top of your head. Over your face, neck and shoulders. This is source energy, source light, clearing any tension, relaxing the body. clearing your chakras. Feeling it move down those shoulders. Feel your shoulders relaxing. Feeling it move down your arms and out your fingertips. Breathing it into the upper chest and the upper back. Breathing it into the belly and the low back. To the glutes and hamstrings, hip flexors, upper thighs. Down your calves and out the bottoms of your feet. Feeling this energy now beginning to expand outside the body. And as it expands about 12 feet around you, just clearing any energy that doesn't belong to you. With love and compassion, we send this energy back. And we're just going to call in now your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your loved ones, beings across time and space, to come and be here now to support you in your individual healings. Arashtiyanai kokoroi ki yanana satarayanai, noroi shanai sataraini ki yanai, da'ai anai shatoro oi sataria ki, kayanai shanoya satai, dayani tataraya satoya kayanai, shatoro oi anasatayanai totoro oi, ki yani satarayani anayanoi, ndara aya kaya korokoya satarayani. I want you now to begin feeling yourself drifting like a feather. Begin floating and landing in one of the most beautiful places you have ever seen. I want you to notice when you land, pay attention to your feet. Feel what's under your feet. Notice the air. Take a deep breath. You'll hear a water source in the background. Just notice if it's the rush of waves, the trickling of water, sound of a waterfall. This is your sacred space, a place that you can come to relax, to feel peace, to feel grounded and anchored. Your spirit team would love to meet you here. And in this beautiful space, you'll notice a staircase appearing before you. And Isis is descending from this staircase. I invite you to welcome her in. She might take your hands, she might give you a kiss on the cheek, lean her forehead towards yours. You may feel a familiarity within her presence.
Aishta totoro ui tia ni nanakaya koi. Aya shatarani anai. Kaya sotoro oya shatarani. Dai sotoro koi tia naya sotoro enai. Aya lai totoro oya shatayanai tatarani akia toi. Saya shanaya satarani tadaya koi saya totoro ui tia nai. Dara shanaya sanai. Goro oi na satara iya ni na satara kai. Aya shanaya satoi na nakia tai. Noro oi na kaya na satara iya ni. She's welcoming you, inviting you to join her on this journey, opening the soul remembrance within you, activating the soul star chakra. Daish tatarani nai koi satarai ani. Dara yashanaya sotoro oi ti na satarakai. Koi na satarani. Daya shatarai ani na nakaya koi. Relaxing the mind. Allowing yourself to receive. She begins leading you up the staircase. Feel yourself ascending, becoming lighter. Maybe your form is changing. At the top of this beautiful staircase, you enter a temple garden. Hear the birds, the water, the brightness, the flowers, the lotuses, the ponds. If you're struggling to see, just know that you're here. You may notice there's other priestesses within the garden. You may recognize some of them. Again, there might be a familiar feeling in this place, in this presence. Taking a moment to allow that familiarity to land. Perhaps someone comes forward with a greeting. Tia shatara naya koe, aya satara kia nishtiri nia noe, dara aya satara kia shatoroya ni. Dai sotoro oya tatarakia ti. Oya na shatarani. Kaya naya shatoro oya satarakai. Aya na karakia ni. Noro oya na satara aya shatoro koya ni. So welcome to the sisterhood from the sisterhood. Begin feeling that remembrance bubbling up. You belong here. Your soul remembers. Isis is leading you now up the temple stairs. Taking it in as you move into the temple. Maybe this is the first time you've been here. Maybe you've been here many times.
just want you to notice, has anything changed? Are you wearing something different? Do you feel different? And Isis is just going to help to clear and activate the third eye. Ai shataraki tataro shanaya satai. Ai anatokorokoi ni nanasatarai ni nanakai. Shotoro oya ni nanai satara ai. Oi shataraya nai koya ni. Aya na shatara ai. Sotoro oi ki nanakaya koro oya na satara iya nai. Noro oi shanaya satarai ni. Kaya staya shotoroya tataraya nai. Ndaya shatara iya nai kokoro oya sanayati. You may just feel some pressure in the third eye or feeling expanding. Notice within the center of the temple, there's a book that appears. It's on this beautiful pedestal. And this is your book of life, your past, your present, your future. And it's inviting you forward. See yourself or feel yourself or just know that you're opening up this book, allowing you to access your past, present, future. And as this book opens, you'll notice a beautiful cord of light, this golden light. This cord stretches through all the past, all the future, understanding that time is not linear. But in this, it's just going to show in this form for this moment. And perhaps you place your hands on the book or you see the book open to a certain page, but we're just going to set the intention now that we're going to be taken to the most relevant past life right now for you to bring forward a spiritual gifting, or to clear something from a past life that is most relevant for you right now in this time. You'll begin to feel yourself floating. Feel the tug or the pull of this cord leading you now. Moving back and back across time and space. Moving you to the most relevant lifetime. Moving back and back. When you land in the most relevant time and space, in this past life, feel yourself beginning to drift, float down. Floating down and down and down. Landing in this past life that is the most relevant for you today. I want you to notice your feet. Look down at your feet. Notice the ground underneath you. Is it dirt, sand, grass, cement, stone? Some of you are in what looks like a castle. Others of you are in an area that's very sandy. Some are in a grassy field. Bring your awareness
to your hands, to your clothes. Feel the fabric. Do you feel male or female? Genderless? Begin to notice the sounds around you. Almost like you're opening your eyes now and beginning to see the world around you. Is it busy? I feel a lot of commotion for some of you. One of you is in kind of like a white, barefoot, in a white, it's almost like a sack looking type of clothing. For some of you there's carts around. And now I want you to take yourself to a place where you would commune with others, so where you would have your meals, or maybe to your home. If you're in front of a home, I invite you, or a tent. For some of you, there's big giant doors in front of you. And for some of you, the terms may not make a lot of sense. You may be in a cosmic or galactic lifetime. Just notice your surroundings. Notice who's with you. Do you have a family, friends? Who are you spending your day with? How are you spending your time? What do you do with your day? And now we're going to take you to the next most relevant moment in time in this lifetime, to a relevant day, significant day in this lifetime. And so we'll move there now, be there now. I want you to notice what's happening around you. For some, I'm seeing you're in a court. There's many people around you. Decisions are being made. Important decisions. Others of you are hunters. I see you kind of in the forest. In particular, there's snakes as well. Just watching the story unfold around you. For one of you, you're an incredibly important advisor. Advisor to a king, to a person of importance. A lot rests on the words that you speak, the wisdom that you share. It feels very tricky. You have to be very careful with your words. For some of you, this is survival. For others, the element of being what would be considered a healer or a witch coming forward. For some, your oracles. Keepers of law. Another lifetime is connected to justice. Others are record keepers. Many healers. Moving now to another significant day in this lifetime. Taking you now to the most significant day in this lifetime. Feeling yourself there now, landing there now. Noticing what's happening around you, what is unfolding. How do you feel in your body? I feel some anxiety coming up for some of you, just knowing that if it becomes too intense, you can step out of the body and be simply the observer. No pain or discomfort needs to be felt to move through this experience. Feeling a lot of intensity for some of you in this portion. Daya shatarakia nai sotoro e shataya nai. Ia nanakia koe shaya natsatara ia ni. Aya nanakaya koe shataraya nai. Saratia ni nanakai. Aya nasotoro oe tatarakia ni nanasatara nai. Feeling yourself now moving to the day of your death in this lifetime. Feeling yourself moving there now, landing there now. If you land in complete darkness, I want you to just kind of bring yourself a little bit further. That means you've crossed over already, so just bring yourself a little bit further back. And again, there's no discomfort. You are welcome to be an observer. Noticing the experience, what you're moving through, the situation, the people around you. For some of you, this is quite traumatic. There's fear, some betrayal. For some of you, just this discontent of, is that it? Is that all? There's so much more I could have done. There is peace for some of you. You've lived a good life. There's injustice for many of you. This was not fair. This was not right. Many of you felt misunderstood. Leaving that scene now, beginning to float above the scene. Feel yourself moving higher and higher. Looking down now on this lifetime, recall forward your higher self. Invite your higher self forward now. And just ask your higher self, what was the purpose of this lifetime? Why was I shown this lifetime? What gift am I bringing forward from this lifetime? What do I need to release and clear from this lifetime? We're just going to clear now anything that is coming forward into this current incarnation that is not relevant, that is not necessary. We're releasing it now. You can imagine stepping through beautiful archways of light or feeling this white light just moving over you now, clearing this energy away, detaching you from this energy. Garakia naisha toro oi satara aya nakara koi aya nashataraya ni nana satara kai. Thanking yourself for this experience, for this part of you, honoring yourself, but allowing it to stay now, to clear now, and to be healed now from that lifetime. Aya shatoro oi ni nana kaya koi aya nashatara isaya totoro oi tataraya ni. Kaya naya shataro oya nai, tia nasataraki, aya shano sotoro oya tatara iya nina nakaya koi. And now anchoring in this gift from this lifetime. Ai titiri I sotoro kui shanaya sataraya nai. Tia nanakai koi asatara I ashatoro oi tia ni. Aya nasatara kia ni. Narayanaya shatoro oi atatara ai. Kia nasatara I anaya shatoi. Sanaya tia kaya koro oi. Aya nashatara ni asatara oi atatara kaya koi. Thanking your higher self. Seeing that cord, that golden cord appearing again. And this time it's leading you to your future, to a future where you're using this gifting. The future in this lifetime,
Maybe that's a year from now. Maybe that's tomorrow. Feel yourself moving there now, feeling this cord pulling you forwards, forwards, moving forwards, drifting forwards. Landing there now in the future. Again, noticing how you feel in your body. Witnessing this gifting, how it's relevant to this lifetime. Feel how peaceful and confident you feel in this gifting. Feel the pride, the ownership, the authority that you feel around this. Feel the magnetism of it. Shaya sataraki tatarayanai shanai, ndara iya ni nanakaya koi. Aya shatarayani nana satai aya koya shatai diani nana satarayanai ndoro oi shanaya sataraki natarayanaya shatoi ayanai kokoro oi ani nana satara iakai. Imagine yourself looking in a mirror. Looking in your eyes. I own this gift. I own this ability. I openly accept this gift. I actively serve with this gift. It is part of me. Feeling that cord, that tug of that beautiful golden cord, bringing you back to the temple. Bringing your awareness back to the book. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude. Feel Isis welcoming you back. I'm just going to give you a moment. She'd like to have a conversation with you. Just allow whatever to drop in. It might be a feeling in your body. You may hear her speak. You may see a visual. You may just know. Something might just drop in, a knowing, an understanding. Feeling your guides close to you, coming forward. Feeling your connection to Source.
your oneness with Isis, with your guides, with your higher self, with all that is, with unity consciousness. Aiki shatarayanai sotoroi nanakaya koi. Ayanai shatarayani nanasatai. Koi shatarai aninaya satarai koi ani. Ndai I shanaya sotoro oyatai. Ndai ki anai sotoro oya nasatai ani nanakai. Ayana shatarayani nanasatai. Oi shaya satarai aki ani. Ndara I ani naya soto oya shataranai. Following Isis now down the steps out of the temple back into the garden. Taking in a deep breath again, noticing the surroundings. That feeling of being home. Moving down the stairs towards your sacred landscape. With each step, feeling this experience landing in the body, anchoring in. Landing in the sacred landscape. And before Isis says goodbye, she hands you something, a gift, an anchor, something that you can remember to anchor in this feeling, this remembrance. It might be a crystal, it might be a wand, it might be a garment or a cape, shawl. Thanking her, allowing yourself to come back, knowing you can use this anchor at any time to bring you back, to remind you of this gift. Feeling yourself beginning to float now, up and up, moving back into the body. Beginning to come back to your breath. Wiggling your toes. Waking up now. Waking up the body, coming back to this space, to the here and now. Begin moving your shoulders, your head from side to side. And with your head down, just begin fluttering open your eyes, coming back to the room, fully aware, fully awake, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome back, everybody. I'm just going to invite you now, if you'd like to share any comments. You're welcome to be on screen, but also if you want to share anything in the chat box about your experience. I would love to hear about any of the giftings that came forward, what you saw yourself as. Were you an oracle? Were you the record keeper? Anything that came forward that you'd like to share. Just going to open up the floor here.
Hi, thank
Hi.
you for this. It was so beautiful.
You're so welcome.
Um, it was a gift of letting go, I would say, not a realization of something new, but a lifetime where I may have had over responsibility. And that's something I've been working through in my daily right now.
Yeah.
And they showed me a lifetime as a midwife and a young midwife who didn't have all the skills yet because my mother had passed away before I could learn them all.
Okay.
And so it was a stressful, when you brought me forward to like a significant time, it was a birth and I didn't know what I was doing. And so it
Okay.
was, but as I moved forward and you brought me to the last day, it was, I figured it out. But there was this feeling of holding too much responsibility for lives, literal lives. And it was I was not expecting it at all today. So
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you.
And can you see in this lifetime now where you've maybe held too much responsibility and maybe that kind of holds you back because, or the weight of holding so much responsibility for others? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've been very aware of it lately. So it's interesting that this has come up because it's something I'm wanting to release.
Yeah.
And I didn't ever expect to be energetically from a past life as well. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. You'll have to keep me posted on how you're moving forward now. Because you may just find, I find with past life stuff, like the clearing, like the awareness, and this, it just like, it could very quickly shift and it could feel very
Mm,
different for you quite fast, which I love that experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would love that as well.
Yes, yes. This is the power of working with, and also claiming it. I'm not sure if you were given an anchor, but if you kind of go into that, like, nope, this is cleared. I no longer have to carry this responsibility,
Hmm.
and claiming that this piece of you have moved through this piece. Yes. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for sharing. All right, so some of the comments. I had a strong sense I was in a field in China. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful. Jenny said I had grabbed my black tourmaline crystal last minute before starting. It felt like I was in the forest in Avalon. I've been given a golden key. I myself, at some point, as a gypsy with a crystal ball. Amazing. Lisa said, a conduit for heavenly light knowledge, connecting individuals to light through the third eye. Oh, wow, that sounds powerful. Lisa, I'm curious, was that in a human incarnation or was that in like a starseed kind of? Is a I was a pygmy in alligator. Oh, in an alligator suit. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I'll have to ask my friends that are. I know that the alligator represents. I don't know what star system that is, but I'll have to ask them for you to find out.
Mine
Andrea, did you?
was, yeah, mine seemed weird to me.
Did it? Yeah.
Yes. I was a little girl, out like on in the mountains outside cabin, and I don't know if it was my dad or who it was, but not very nice person. And then I was in the stockyards, like I was in one of those things.
Yeah.
And then I was hung, and like when I asked the question, because I didn't do anything, it was kind of like, anyways, what I obviously learned is compassion and forgiveness. And then what the gift was actually authenticity.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and she gave me a scroll.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
like that, I haven't quite like processed it all, but it's almost like here this happened, and I was a little kid when this happened. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, so anyways, it's owning the authenticity.
Yeah.
So
And
I guess
more may unfold for you. I have seen, especially when I very first started working with my past lives, I would get like tiny little snippets and then more would kind of unfold. So I encourage you to in a journal about the experience as well. You could even do some automatic writing and seeing kind of if more unfolds. But I love that you understand what the gift is and what was kind of being cleared. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Jacinta said, I was before a castle, and I was related to the royal family in the castle. I was not particularly accepted by all. My horse was my favorite buddy, and I had a daughter who was vulnerable to sickness. I could see the castle. I could see the big doors and the walls and like the pieces. The lifetime that was connected to being the advisor, I was curious if those two connected. Jacinta, did you feel like you were an advisor, or was I tapping into two separate lifetimes? Okay. I was an advisor. Okay, yeah, I could clearly see this. Like sometimes Spirit will give me just like little snippets, and often it's for people that are like, they need that confirmation or that affirmation of like, oh yes, I'm onto something. And so Spirit will sometimes give me these little snippets that I'm meant to share. And so, yes, an advisor, so not always liked. And I just want to share within that lifetime, like I could feel your fear of coming forward because you knew like this could get me killed. The things that I say, if I do not say it exactly the right way, I could literally, my life could be on the line here. And so what I really felt was coming forward, and take what resonates, release what doesn't. But I really felt what was coming forward is in this lifetime, you might hold yourself back a lot because you're afraid of how something's going to be perceived. And I had this experience actually with showing up online. I was terrified of cyber stalkers, terrified that they literally that their words, I'm a very sensitive person. I was worried that their words would literally kill me. I would say those words, it would kill me to hear somebody say something negative about me. So I was taken into a past life, and I won't go into all the details, but basically I was stoned because of using my gifts as an oracle and sharing things. I was literally killed in that past life, stoned to death and very misunderstood. And after I cleared that, all of a sudden I was able to show up online, and the cyber, that was not yes, of course you don't like it, but I didn't have that terrifying fear anymore of how it would impact me. And now I'm oh, delete, block, whatever, and I move on with my day kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how you move forward now, releasing that fear. That was a lot of responsibility that you carried. And so moving forward, just feeling, you may just notice oh, and sometimes it's a byproduct. It'll be 3 weeks goes by and you'll be oh, I'm not doing that thing anymore. I'm showing up differently. So I'm excited to see how that will shift for you. They just allowed me to feel a lot of that experience with you. Kelly said, I was surrounded by a lot of white light. The gift I was given was an orb of light, like a bright ball of white light. Beautiful, Kelly. That's really beautiful. I'm just going to feel into... They're speaking about the light within, that, and they're saying that you're seeing the orb outside of yourself, and they're explaining that light, you, it's almost like you've got some disconnect here, that you see that light with outside of you. And so the more that you can absorb that light within you, and they're telling you you are the light, you are a natural healer. Your presence alone heals people. The frequency, the resonance of just as you would see an orb of light being this healing presence, you are the healing presence. So they just wanted to bring that message forward for you as well. So Catherine, it felt as if I was in a biblical times. Yeshua was there, and we were spreading his love and healing. Oh, beautiful. A remembrance of the power within me that has always been here, something I've been struggling to step into recently. Oh, I am so feel this lifetime. I just read one of Dolores Cannon's books called Those That Walk with Jesus. I feel called to tell you to read this book. Because if you had a past lifetime with Jesus, it will resonate deeply. I was reading the frequency of this book. I was just all the things I was reading, I was that's it. Yes, I knew it. All these different things, because they speak about Jesus very differently. This woman speaks about Jesus that was in the lifetime with him. She was a disciple, but not one of the 12 disciples. But she was a healer. She worked in a lot of the leprosy camps and whatnot. But just the way that she talked about Jesus and who he was and how he worked, and it was she even talked about Jesus talking about chakras in the hands. And I was like, yes. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. Laying on hands was like Reiki, universal energy coming through. It was really, really cool. So I'm going to encourage you, and I'm delighted. You may want to go back and learn more from this lifetime as well. I feel like there's more for you, not necessarily in a clearing way, but just being in that experience, in an experiential way. Yes. So I listen to a lot of her books. Yes, I need to listen to this. Definitely. If you're already familiar with her books, yes. So it's Those That Walk with Jesus, and Shivers the Whole Time, and yes to all of this. Beautiful. And Kelly says, when I arrived at the temple and when you asked if anyone else was there, my mom appeared and took my hand to walk with me inside. So the reason I bring up, that's beautiful, Kelly. Thank you for sharing. And the reason that I bring up like the temple garden and seeing, like being in the temple garden and seeing who else is there, is because this is this connection to the lineage work. There's many of us, we're in our soul families. A lot of us are connected to our soul families here. And you'll begin to see these connections of like, I know my very best friend, we were priestesses together in another lifetime. And so, being able to kind of begin to recognize like where we did past lives together. And I'm bringing that forward because I want you, those of you that notice the familiarity, so that you can understand like, oh, I feel like I'm part of this Sisterhood of the Rose. I feel like I'm part of this lineage. And I feel many people kind of waking up to like this call many of you might be experiencing working with Mary Magdalene. That's a really, really common one. And for many of you, Isis will start coming into your awareness as well, if you're part of the sisterhood. Or maybe just the Sisterhood of the Rose keeps popping up and in your awareness as well. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to see, like, do you notice anybody? I felt we actually had a greeting. Somebody came forward. The light language that came forward felt like it was a greeting and a calling of like, hey, you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back. Like, remember, right? It was kind of the messages that were coming through. Shannon says, can a previous lives come up in dreams? I have not had a previous lifetime come up in dreams, but I would imagine that they absolutely can. I don't work a ton in my dreams. I get visitations in my dreams, and that's about it. But there's so many people that do a lot of work in their dreams. So I would not be surprised at all. And I would say that's probably a yes. I feel like Spirit can work with us and through us in whatever kind of form is going to be the most significant for us. Some of us, like, our subconscious is always working even in dream state. So again, that would make me feel like that's a yes. I'm just going to confirm with Spirit. Yeah, they're saying it's a yes as well. Okay. You're so welcome, Natalia. You're so welcome. Yeah, I'll send out the replay. It'll be either today or tomorrow. You're welcome to listen to it whenever you would like to kind of go back and access past lives. And for some of you, now you'll understand the process and you'll just be able to do this on your own as well. And I do encourage you to try it again, use it again. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And I just want to thank you all again for being here. Wonderful. Wonderful. See y'all soon.